And we are back, and we just finished watching 2021's Malignant, currently streaming on HBO Max, but also available at the theaters. It's rated R and clocks in at 1 hour and 51 minutes. And right off the bat, I will say, skip this. Wow.
Yeah, this was
This
not
was
a good
terrible.
movie.
I kept waiting for it to get better.
Well, at the end there,
It picked up and it made us laugh.
It picked up a little and made us laugh, just in like the sheer ridiculousness of what was going on.
Yes.
I was like, is this? I gotta be. This is supposed to be a horror movie. It's not.
It's not really.
It's not scary at all. It's built around a twist, a very, 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 very predictable one.
Well, I didn't catch on to it like you did. Like you, like off the bat, were like, "Oh, it's gonna be this," and I'm like, "Huh?"
Yeah. To me, it was like right off the bat. I mean, even in the title, you could pretty much guess what the hell's going on.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, okay. If you really think about it, gang.
If you really think about it,
you can figure this one out.
And like,
It was just bad.
It was just bad. I think basically it's like, okay, let's make a sort of like late 80s, early 90s type low budget horror film.
With a 70s horror movie poster.
With a 70s horror movie poster. Polish up the atmosphere a bit. I mean, seriously, I would say 75% of that budget went to fog machines.
Yes.
They're like, I mean, I understand Seattle is a rainy city, but seriously, there was freaking fog everywhere.
Even indoors, underground.
Indoors, underground, everywhere there was fog. Like, I don't think there's a pipe in Seattle that isn't bursting steam for
at this moment as we speak.
Exactly. Everybody was just
terrible. Oh my god.
Discount Wanda Sykes was. I honestly, this film would have been so much better if Wanda Sykes was the partner.
Yeah.
The policeman's partner.
Yeah, Regina.
And the partner, Kakoa Shaw.
I was like, come on. That's like a Harry Potter character name. What are you doing?
Kakoa Shaw. What the hell?
I don't know.
And I swear I've seen this house that a lot of the film took place in. I think it was used in like Supernatural like 80 times.
Yeah, what could have made this better? I think if it had actually had elements of Supernatural.
Yeah, that I think before we started talking, we were about to discuss that, but like we were like, oh, like the Ring was like super scary.
Oh, so good.
And the Ring has the benefit of it, it's supernatural.
Right.
This one it's supposed to have some sort of like scientific basis to it, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess there is some sort of there's definitely, I guess, some sort of supernatural nonsense.
Not really, because it's explained, and the explanation is tethered to.
You're right.
I mean, I thought it was like some boy, or maybe like a brother of hers that died in a violent manner. Like, to me, at the beginning, I thought like she was, because she said that she didn't remember anything before her 8th birthday, right? So to me, it was like they were probably in an abusive house and suffered like consistent abuse. And the brother sort of gave his life up for her to protect her.
You're making
I'm making a completely different movie here.
In the very beginning of the movie, they pretty much give away what everything's what's going on.
Yeah, that's another thing about these James Wan movies, right? In the beginning, they kind of do. It's not exposition, but it's definitely a lot of like backdrop so that they can kind of go right into the story.
Yeah, there's some heavy foundation setting in the
credits, in the opening credits.
Not even talking about the opening credits. Like even before the opening credits, the opening scenes where it's the doctor talking.
Oh yeah.
Oh, we're gonna do this, and then there's craziness ensues, and then the doctor's like, we're cutting out the cancer.
Yeah.
Dun, 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 dun. Which is a line that's used
multiple
ad
times.
nauseum
Yeah.
throughout the rest of the film. It's like the killer's mantra: "We're cutting out the cancer."
Yeah.
And you know what? The killer did remind. That was another little like sort of throwback to '80s stuff. Having like the killer,
The way that killer looked.
he was like a weird. I won't say creature because it was, it wasn't really a creature, but
Do we spoil this? I feel like
I
would.
don't, it just came out. I don't want to spoil it in case. I mean, because some people may enjoy the hell out of this.
I can't imagine. It is beyond terrible.
People like James Wan horror films, and
I feel like this is not a good one. I mean, I feel like his other stuff has more merit than this.
I think I may have sat through The Conjuring. I don't really remember much about it, but
that's the one with Lily Taylor. We've seen that, right?
That's the one with Lily Taylor. Oh my God, did he do Insidious too?
Yeah, he does all those movies.
Okay, so
we've seen his movies.
People
like we don't pay to see his movies because we
I'll
can't take the kids to see these movies, but we've watched them on cable.
Clearly, people enjoy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
His style of quote unquote horror movie.
He's okay. So he's not a bad director.
He's kind of like the action film director of horror movies.
Yes.
Okay.
That's a good. Yeah, that's a good.
Did he do Fast and Furious movies too? Or no, he did Aquaman. Didn't he?
He did Aquaman, yeah.
Okay. So
and he threw Annabelle in there, remember? That was like the big thing.
Yeah, she was under the water. Got a little nod there to Annabelle.
God damn it.
Yeah, I don't know, his horror films just don't click with me. To me, they're not scary at all. They're just sort of like
fast food horror.
Like I said, it's sort of like an action movie type horror movie, and this is no exception to that because I'm trying not to spoil this, but let's just say that the bad guy in this movie has been shut up for a really, really long time. Okay, he's been like locked up, unable to move for a really long time, and by the end of the film, he is like parkouring, kung fuing, martial arting the shit out of everyone.
Yeah.
Like lopping off arms, breaking shins, just slaughtering cops left and right, dodging bullets.
Yeah.
And that was another thing. He was shot multiple times, but it just didn't seem to matter.
Right. Mind over matter. Mind over body. I guess I don't know. It was such a weird movie.
It was There
was no rhyme or reason.
I'm guessing if you like James Wan's sort of like action horror
repertoire, yeah,
then this is for you.
I can't even imagine that. I can't even imagine that.
You know what? I don't have a problem with like action-y type horror, but usually when you do like an action-y type horror thing, there's humor in it. You know, like Evil Dead 2 or that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Dragon Man Hell.
There's nothing funny in this movie.
No. Well, the holding cell scene. That was fantastic.
When the asses start getting kicked, then it's like you're like shaking your head like, what am I watching? This is ridiculous. This is hilarious.
Get the cops! Get the cops!
Get the cops! But as far as the rest of it goes, it wasn't that funny. That's why I was like, this film needed
levity.
The real Wanda Sykes.
Yeah.
Because discount Wanda Sykes, she did a fine job.
Yes.
I feel like I don't want to disparage her performance in any way. She read her lines, whatever, she was convincing. But you can clearly tell she was modeled after Wanda Sykes.
Yeah. And to have the real Wanda Sykes there would have been hilarious.
She even sort of looked a bit like Wanda Sykes.
Yeah.
It should have just been Wanda Sykes with that voice and that attitude.
And the delivery.
Delivering. And she could have delivered the same lines word for word.
And it would have been Shakespearean.
It would have been so much better.
Yes.
Especially with just like that wooden, complete void of charisma that was Kakoa Shaw. Seriously, the only thing that guy had going for him was that the girls were just so like,
he's dreamy. What could have made this better? Could anything have made this better?
Sykes.
Even with the script?
God, you know what? I don't know. Like I said, this film is like really built upon that turn, like that twist.
The reveal.
And it's not a very good twist.
No.
It's sort of like, I don't know, he's trying to like Shyamalan his way through this thing. Like, he's not getting the good Shyamalan. He's like,
this is like subpar Shyamalan. Yeah, I could see it. Yeah, I think that. Okay, so originally I thought that this was going to be like a ghost story, and I think ghost stories, especially for James Wan, work better, or demons, or whatever the hell you want to call them. Like, we saw that Nun movie with G, and she was fine with it, and even that made a little bit more sense than this.
Yeah, but like I said, that you have like the supernatural, you're able to. I think supernatural horror it's a little bit easier to get into the horror because you're dealing with stuff that's like completely unknown and mysterious, and you have a lot more leeway as far as like what the entity could do and what it's weak against, what people could do to fight it.
Right.
When you're dealing with just people, and you're sort of like you're grounded in a certain level of reality.
Yeah.
Even though, obviously you're stretching it for horror movies. Nobody is this stupid.
Yes, that was another thing.
Would make these decisions.
Yeah.
You're kind of like, it's like you can only go so far, so you have to handle it in a different way. And this felt like he was using the supernatural playbook, but he didn't. He shouldn't have.
Right. He should have just gone whole.
He should have
stick to what
stuck to something grounded in science and reality. There's a lot of room. There's a lot of room to play in that arena. I mean, there's plenty of like science horror and stuff like that.
Sure, Upgrade and stuff like that.
Yeah, Upgrade was great because it was actiony, and then at the end it just takes that
horrific turn. Yeah,
where you're just like,
what?
Ooh, that's scary.
Yeah, and we're almost there.
Yeah,
maybe
it's not far off, man.
Yeah. Well, for this movie, I think he should have stuck to supernatural. I think that's what people know him for. I think that's what he excels at. I think having the supernatural element here instead of something based in science would have worked better because it just would have been more terrifying. I think this was just, to me, it was just silly and just none of it was fun. None of it was scary. I mean, as a teenager, I lived for horror movies. Would always go, even the most ridiculous horror movies, I would just go because that was like my thing. And I think people, I'm sure there have been studies, or I'm getting this from somewhere, people like the idea of being scared. Nothing scary about this movie. If anything, it was just beyond silly, a waste of time. And please don't pay money to see this in the theater. If you have HBO Max, check it out if you want to, although I say skip it because it is an hour and 51 minutes, I believe.
It feels like it too.
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, and usually horror movies go quicker or they're shorter, so it just the action sequences.
I gotta be honest, there's no reason for a horror film like this
to be 2 hours.
To have been 2 hours.
Yeah.
This is, like I said, this is clearly modeled after like late 80s, early 90s, like Basket Case, and I'm hesitant to even say Reanimator because Reanimator was so
good.
Much better than this.
Yeah.
But it's like that level.
Yeah, that's definitely the vibe they were going for.
That, it's like, all right, an hour and a half at most.
Yeah.
This kind of dragged. Yeah, not really that great.
I mean, I'm sure these movies will get recycled. I hope that in the future he, or whoever, the screenwriter, instead of just churning out something just for the sake of churning it out, really just, plots it out.
I'm sure somebody had faith in this thing. I mean,
I think the reason it got made is because James Wan's attached to it. I mean, I think his name alone will actually get investors and producers to pony up money.
And I doubt this. I mean, it wasn't low budget.
Yeah, but there's no marquee actors.
Clearly some set development and a lot of fog machines. But it was polished, maybe even a little bit too polished for this type of movie.
Agreed.
Sometimes if you're doing the the gritty B horror movie.
It should look like a gritty
It
B
should look
horror
a little
movie.
bit like a gritty B horror movie, not like something you'd see on the WB.
Yes, yeah. I that was another thing. I mean, maybe because we were watching it in forward HD or whatever the hell it is.
I'm sorry, is it the CW or the WB?
CW now.
Okay.
Yeah, it hasn't been WB for years, but it's the CW. Yeah, but I think that was another thing that put me off. I think at one point I turned to you and I was like, "This looks like it was filmed for TV, right? Like an episode of Supernatural."
Seriously, I swear I've seen that house in Supernatural.
I'm sure you have.
Probably used it like 8 times.
But yeah, there's nothing remarkable about this movie, which is unfortunate because as a genre, I really enjoy horror, but this was just not it. I think I'm not really sure what else is coming out this weekend, but my advice is skip this. Skip this hard. If you want to see a good James Wan movie, I guess go into the backlog and watch one of his other films.
Yeah,
but this is not it.
This is not one.
This is not it.
I think he should stick to Supernatural stuff.
Yeah, I think it works better. He's not a bad director. This is not a bad looking movie.
Not bad. I mean, I gotta be honest.
Just the story was just.
He's not the greatest director. He does do a little bit. Some of the stuff felt unnecessary. Like there was one shot where he sort of does this zoom in on a cash register, and I was like, why did he do that? The cash register plays no part in anything. It's not like there's a monster hiding behind it or anything. It was just like an unnecessary.
Maybe it's to highlight the money.
I think it was like he was trying to build tension, and it was just a very weird. It was like,
I mean, I get what you're saying there, but there was some other stuff that looked good, like in the beginning when she's running and you see the overhead shots. Like I liked how that was done. I thought that was very clever. Yeah. It was almost like she was like confined in this dollhouse, and then you see the repeat of the dollhouse and how it's beautifully, eerily lit in that video of her when she's a child. Yeah. But I mean, there's some nice looking shots. The shot of the abandoned place. I don't want to say what it is, but that's kind of pretty. Yeah, I mean, I think he's a decent director. I think the trouble here is the script. The script really needed to be worked on. It was bad, and it could have been better. It would just take too long to delve into how to make it better. But
yeah, plus we don't give away any spoilers.
Yeah, we don't want to give away any spoilers because this movie just came out. So, but I'm going to give this movie a 4. I'll give it a 4 as well. Yeah, I mean, if you are a James Wan fan and you want to just stay up to date with his filmography, I guess check it out. Yeah, if you have HBO Max and nothing else to do.
I think the way he's going, he's probably going to tie this somehow into his universe of weirdness.
I'm sure. Yeah, why not?
Yeah, Malignant
or something that long coat will wind up somewhere else.
Yeah, somebody's gonna wear the creepy
coat. Or the reconstructed award that the doctor had.
The excellence.
Yeah, yeah, it's just disappointing because as a horror fan, you want something better, and this is just not it. And this is why horror kind of gets crapped on. I feel like, I mean, not to get off topic, but just really quick, like Blumhouse has made some decent horror and has sort of elevated that game. But when you see stuff like this, it's like 2 steps back because it's like you had enough time to work on this. This could have been so much better. Why isn't it better? Yeah. So, well, that's it from me. Do you have anything else you want to add here, or?
No, not really. This was a dud.
Yeah, very disappointing.
I got to be honest, it was a bit of a chore to sit through.
Yes, it felt long.
I felt like a little bit redeemed with the crazy action scene at the end.
Towards the end.
That was fun. That was somewhat enjoyable, but it really wasn't.
It took too long to get there.
It wasn't worth waiting an hour and a half to get to.
Yeah.
And just, oh my God. Oh, and at the end, the little speech that, what's her name, Melody or whatever? Madison gives.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was just so saccharine, you know.
Yeah.
I was looking for a connection, and it was in front of me all along. I just heard like the Gumby music playing.
Yeah. Yeah,
Get out of here. Get out of here. Don't try and like cram some bullshit morality thing in
there. Yeah, yeah,
Get the hell out of here.
yeah. I don't know. I mean, I feel like there are tons of ways that could have made this better, but it's just nobody's paying me for it, so I'm not. I'm not outsourcing my ideas here.
Yeah. And I never felt like the characters really truly even cared about each other. I don't know. Like,
agreed.
Even the sisters, it just didn't feel. Nothing felt genuine.
No, not at all. Yeah, it was terrible.
This is not good.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, there is good horror out there. If you want, look up the original Ring, not Ringu, the original Ring by Gore Verbinski, which I think is a fantastic movie. Fantastic horror movie.
Don't get people
Has
angry.
nothing to do with
Don't
this.
get people angry. Ringu came first.
Ringu came first.
Ring is based on Ringu, but the
Ring is way better.
Is better than Ringu.
Ringu, yeah. And I will die on that hill. Anybody that wants to fight me. Yeah. I mean, another favorite of ours, Hereditary.
Oh my God, that is true horror.
Yeah, that is true horror.
That is a true, straight up horror movie.
Yeah, even like
that is a scary
Alien.
Goddamn horror. Alien is a great horror
movie. Yeah, yeah. Seek out the classics. Don't settle. The Exorcist. Fantastic.
The Exorcist is good, although I gotta be honest that when she pukes on that dude, I laugh my ass off every single time. So even as a kid, I just couldn't get scared by it.
Yeah. I was terrified of that movie for years. My God.
All right, let's wrap it up.
All right, that's it from us. Final note, please do yourself a favor and skip this.
Skip Malignant.
Skip Malignant. Not worth the time, the money, or the effort.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it from us, and we will bid you all a good night. Good night.
Good night.